am thankful for second chances, and in some cases, third and fourth. And I think that there are a few other quarterbacks in the league right now that probably agree with me insofar as Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith. All of these guys at one point or another were given up on in their careers by their teams, floated around a couple different places, but they are now lighting the league on fire across divisions. Especially when you consider that Jared Goff and Sam Darnold are in the same division and are now dueling and will be dueling. We'll get to that a little bit later as the season kind of concludes. But I'm so happy for a guy like Jared Goff, who had some initial success with the Rams, but it just wasn't a good fit. And then gets essentially... he's a consolation prize to go to Detroit in the trade for Matthew Stafford.
Felt like a salary dump when it happened.
It was.
Feels like a different lifetime ago.
I know.
But when that trade happened, it was like, oh, you've got to throw in Jared Goff to like get him off the books. It is what it is.
Get him off the books. The Lions needed a quarterback, like all that.
The Lions are like, okay, fine.
We'll take Jared Goff.
We'll carry this cap hit for a couple of years until we figure out what we want to do. That's what people were saying as recently as like before the 2022 season, yes. By the way.
And not to mention, Dan Campbell gets there. You go through a 3-win season. If you're Jared Goff and you're like, oh man, what did I really get myself into? But in all of this, this whole situation, then there was this singular belief in the team and there was support for him. Very early on, Dan Campbell was supportive of Jared Goff, like, while things were still not going great. And then you get a coordinator like Ben Johnson, who is the hottest head coaching candidate going into next season. And he has made some magic happen with Jared Goff to the point where the Lions look completely unstoppable. They can score 30 points in their sleep. All of these guys that I'm talking about here are in the top 10 as far as quarterback rating in yardage totals. These are some extraordinarily productive quarterbacks that were at one point left for dead. So there's Jared Goff. Baker Mayfield is such a wonderful example of that too, given that he was at multiple teams before he ended up at the Bucs. So much so that the Bucs then, this is the other part of this. They actually he was a backup plan if they weren't able to land Tom Brady.
All the way back in 2020.
All the way back in 2020. If they couldn't land Tom Brady, they've liked Baker that long. And then it finally aligns that they get Baker. And not only do they make him feel supported, but when it comes time for Dave Canales to leave and take the head coaching job at the Carolina Panthers, Baker was involved, despite not being under contract for the long term. Baker was involved in bringing Liam Cohen to Tampa Bay, and that has gone so beautifully for them this year. It's made Baker feel supported. He's having the best year of his career, and he's having so much fun. We saw him with the Tommy DeVito celebration, which he did a little too aggressively. If my Italian heart's being a little honest, come on, Baker.
It's like gesturing I love a little you so too much,
but gesturing wildly in the end zone. But he's clearly having so much fun, and I'm so thankful. I'm sure he's very thankful to the Bucs organization for sticking with him and for helping him flourish. Sam Darnold goes without saying. Geno Smith, same thing. Geno Smith's stats are out like through the roof this year as far as passing stats go. Sam Darnold, again, having a coach like Kevin O'Connell who really takes the time to develop you.
Sam Darnold is the one for me, I think. And like no disrespect to all those other guys, but like, Baker had an amazing season in Cleveland. He got the Browns to the playoffs. You could argue the Browns had no business being so eager to move on from Baker, considering
I don't think there is an argument there, and I think a lot of Cleveland fans would agree with you.
Played through an injury his last year in Cleveland and still had not a great season, but was still productive. Geno had to wait almost 10 years for his second opportunity, grew into a completely different person and player. Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl with the Rams. I'm not trying to throw shade on Sam Darnold, but it does feel like the ultimate example of, with the exception of like a 2 or 3 game stretch in Carolina for that 1 year, Sam Darnold really hadn't enjoyed success of any kind at any stop in the NFL. And he lands in Minnesota with a great play caller, a guy who hypes his people up. I mean, how about Kevin O'Connell hyping up other teams' quarterbacks, by the way, too?
What he said to Caleb Williams.
I think he did it to another quarterback earlier this season as well.
I think he did it to CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ. And then obviously the weapons in Minnesota. And you see what's going on to the point where whether it's in Minnesota or somewhere else, Sam Darnold's going to be the guy that gets the Baker or Geno deal next year because he's only on that 1 year, $10 million deal. He's played well enough. I'd be shocked if somebody's not willing to give him a shot to be a franchise guy, even if it's not Minnesota because of JJ McCarthy.
He's got a 101.7 quarterback rating through these first 12 weeks of the season, and that ranks 9th in the league overall. I'm very, very happy for him. I don't like saying him last had nothing to do with how happy I am. It's just, I think it's a huge testament to Kevin O'Connell and how well he can develop quarterbacks and how much those situations really do matter. We're seeing that more than ever.
Can I throw this out there?
Okay.
We're basically on like a 3 or 4 year run of having a guy like this every year. It was Goff in 22. Baker and Geno did it together in 23. Darnold's doing it right now. So
who's the next one?
Who's the reclamation project for 2025? And is it potentially the guy who just got fired by the New York Giants? That's just what comes to my mind right now.
I don't know if you would throw Bryce Young into.
I was gonna say Bryce Young until he just started. He didn't even need to change teams to get a second chance.
That's true.
He took it and ran with it, and he looks amazing. I don't know if Daniel Jones would get a chance to start right away in 2025, but I talked about this with Jay Glazer earlier in the show. Like I've got a circle drawn around Daniel Jones.
I like that a lot because there's absolutely a Sam Darnold pathway here for Daniel Jones.
If we've learned anything, it's not to write these guys off too soon. And second chances. I like it, Carm.
Yeah.